LEGO Marvel has a gigantic problem that I've noticed throughout all of their sets for the last couple of years, and the new Avengers Tower is no exception. Now, Avengers Tower was revealed just the other day, alongside people reviewing it early before it releases. The general consensus is that it's a pretty damn good set, and even though it's not my style, I have to agree. The model's been in development for over 10 years, and it is clearly the ultimate edition of the Avengers Tower. But where I was really interested to see people's opinions were the minifigures. Arguably a core aspect of this set considering there's so many. And non-surprisingly, the one figure I've seen everybody talking about is that Vision minifigure. Not only is it a fantastic concept for a minifigure to have him mid-phase, but it's just the attention to detail that they've added with this figure that makes it so unique. The decision to use teal instead of the sand green color, the transparent legs to show him phasing, and most importantly the attention to detail, giving him a brand new printed foil cape and leg printing. And here's where we get to the crux of the issue. Most LEGO Marvel figures do not get the same level of treatment. Now, I'm not saying that every single LEGO Marvel figure needs this attention to detail. Believe it or not, there are some characters within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that actually don't need leg printing. Characters in this set like Helen Cho, Casual Tony Stark, Eric Selvig, and even this version of Wanda, who's actually from Endgame, are more than acceptable candidates for not receiving leg printing. But most of the time with Marvel sets, you'll find it's only Iron Man or Spider-Man that get the leg prints, probably because they are some of the most popular Marvel characters to exist, but even Spider-Man lately has been struggling to get leg prints. But it even does seem that when Marvel do get leg prints, the catch is that print is so generic it can be used on multiple minifigures. Just look at Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Falcon all using the same leg print on the Avengers Tower. So when a character like this Vision comes along and it's 100% unique, it's no wonder that everybody loves it so much, is because it's had the love and detail put into it in the design process. And speaking of love and detail, I try and put as much detail into my videos as possible, so you pressing that subscribe button would really be appreciated. But what I don't understand is why we can't get the same level of quality for other Avengers core characters, even on small sets, but especially on sets like this one. Characters like Wasp, Captain America, and Thor not getting leg printing is just backwards to me. There's a term I'm sure everybody has heard of called quality over quantity, and when I've spoken to multiple LEGO designers across the years I've been doing this, it's something I know LEGO try to balance, but unfortunately in my opinion it's not something they do very well. I understand each LEGO set has its own budget, and you can't really stray too far away from that. When you're purposely deciding to give us worse minifigures for the sake of giving us more minifigures, I believe there's something going wrong. And with a set like Avengers Tower where they're choosing to give us 30 minifigures, call it speculation, but I feel like the same thing is going on here. And I actually think fans would be more than happy to settle for 21 minifigures, the same as something like Mos Eisley Cantina, but because you're negating 9 minifigures, it would hopefully allow you to put a little bit more budget into making more of the core Avengers more detailed. We've truly seen how good Marvel figures can be in things like the CMF series, and is technically considered its own thing by LEGO, but let's be honest, both things are licensing the same universe, so when you have a minifigure that looks like this and has had every individual element thought out in excruciating detail, and then you compare it to an equally core character and it looks like this, dare I say it, but it makes the figure from the official LEGO set look like a cheap knockoff. Now I know that might sound harsh, but it's true. There's a reason custom companies are making figures more detailed and selling them in mass quantities. It's because people want more detailed versions of the characters they love in LEGO form. Although I'll happily take getting a CMF over not having one, I can actually see the Marvel CMF being a detriment to the theme in general. When you are taking minifigures that are a 2 out of 10 and knocking them up to a 10 out of 10, there's no middle ground. And I think LEGO really needs to be careful about what they do in terms of mainline Marvel characters, potentially giving CMFs less detail but compensating with figures in actual sets getting more. Now I know they are separate things, so this will never happen, but my point is it would be nice to have some level of consistency. Yes, that means if you make a really good dedicated face print for Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye in the CMF, use the same bloody face print for a Jeremy Renner figure on the $500 Avengers Tower, not just a generic one that you've used across multiple minifigures before in the past. You've already done the hard part of making the minifig look like the actor. You opting to cheap out using a generic face print just for the sake of having an exclusive face print in the CMF is lowering the quality of the overall product. But I know some people are just after collecting the official figures, and that's why I'm selling a bunch of my spare ones over on my Whatnot stream on Friday the 24th of November. This includes a full set of CMF1 and CMF2s, and some really hard figures to get a hold of nowadays. If you don't know what Whatnot is, it's basically a mix between Twitch and eBay, where you can live auction certain items off, and like I say, this Friday I'm going to be doing a bunch of Marvel figures as well as some Star Wars ones. If you're new to the app, make sure to use my link in the description because you get £10 or $15 off to use on my stream, and while you're signing up, make sure you bookmark my stream to get a notification of when I go live. We'll also be doing a couple of giveaways, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Let's jump back into the video. Now I think this is important to say, but I don't think it's the LEGO designers' fault, and I also don't dislike the Avengers Tower set. This problem exists for every single MCU-based set, and I truly do believe that the designers are doing everything in their power to get the minifigures to the best of the quality they can. But there's clearly somebody in charge calling the shots, and I've said it in the past and I'll say it again. Although there are exceptions like the Tower and Sanctum Sanctorum, the main thing for Marvel Marvel isn't locations or vehicles, it's the characters that are being portrayed. And unfortunately for LEGO, I understand that most of the time they have to prioritize the set over things like the minifigures. But looking at the positive reaction that we've had from both CMF series now, wishing that Marvel figures could be like this more on the regular, I wish LEGO could take a step back and reconsider things like the MCU sets, and really prioritize when a figure needs leg printing over not needing leg printing. Especially for sets that are considered 18+ or more diorama-like, like the new Statue of Liberty set, or Avengers Final Battle, which is clearly targeted to adults as well as kids. And unfortunately, this is the thing that bothers me most. I'm talking about the basic fundamentals of a LEGO minifigure. Take a look at Star Wars, and in 2023, 83% of their figures in sets had leg printing, whereas figures from MCU-based sets only had about half of that. Despite what some people say about the quality of Star Wars minifigures, I understand some of them have their drawbacks. I get everybody wants cloth karmas to come back, but comparing regular clone troopers that don't get that cloth karma to Scarlet Witch just because she does, and saying the Star Wars figure is worse off because of it, is a flawed argument in my opinion. Most Marvel characters don't even get the luxury of leg printing, and hell, I'm surprised that this Scarlet Witch even got a unique face print. And considering that clone troopers in a £20 set get leg prints, torso prints, head prints, helmet prints, and that's just talking about clones, we're not even mentioning named characters. Looking at you guys. I think it's just silly to argue they're on the same level playing field because Scarlet Witch got a piece of fabric. But my main question to you is, do you care? Am I overreacting on something like this? Because everybody I've spoken to who cares about the Marvel theme always wishes for more leg printing and just a bit more overall quality when it comes to the minifigures themselves. Do you agree that LEGO should treat their mainline MCU characters with a bit more love? I'd love to see your thoughts in the comment section below on characters like Thor, Green Goblin, Captain America, Wasp, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Valkyrie, all not getting the basic necessity of leg printing this year. It's a massive issue if you ask me for Marvel, and I hope they prioritize it fast. Drop this video a like, here's a video I think you'll like on screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one.